as part of our Entrepreneurs and Fuego radio series, I want to tell you Tom Kann from Freedom Equity Group. Don't be nervous, man, because there's over 100,000 people potentially that are going to be watching, are going to be listening, and are going to be enjoying this particular interview. What we want to do is, first of all, I want to personally thank you for coming here. This is an amazing show. We're broadcasting live from the Office Bio, the first co-working space, first culturally diverse co-working space in the nation. We're ranked number 5 in the United States. Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, my friend?
Awesome. Freedom Equity Group. We're FMO, which is a field marketing organization, and we specialize in retirement vehicles, insurance products, and we teach the new world of finance, basically. So that's what I do. I spread the word. Basically, it's a new type of insurance that we offer. The old type of insurance you had to die for, in order to benefit. But the new type offers what is called living benefits, which means that you can invade the face amount of the insurance policy if you get cancer, stroke, heart attack, any chronic, critical, or terminal illness.
Here's the thing. I remember that movie with Woody Allen, Take the Money and Run.
Right.
And you remember that scene with insurance, the guy is in prison and he is condemned and tortured by an insurance salesman selling him all this. This is the shit nobody wants to talk about. It's insurance. But it's necessary. It's necessary. And full disclosure, you got my kids some kind of insurance that they're going to, by the age of 50, 60 or something or another, they're going to be very well off.
They are.
And that's a very good thing. So what you have, Tom, is from a personal basis, you've had the ability to say your message and to explain to somebody even like me that is very tough-headed to understand what you do. But we can talk about that a little bit later on.
Okay.
You've been in this business for how long, Tom?
Well, I had to reinvent myself, so I've been in the business for 3 years, but my background is financial services.
When you said reinvent yourself, were you always an entrepreneur, or did you work for somebody else? Did you have like a 9-to-5 job, or what happened?
I did in the financial services industry. I feel that you work 24/7, okay, because you're constantly talking, trying to get the new products out, and so it's the same that I'm doing now. I am an entrepreneur, but yet I worked for companies like Morgan Stanley and UBS Securities, so they're corporate entities, and you go out and do the corporate way.
You know what, Tom? Because we talk to entrepreneurs, and we're trying to find out what fuels your fire, right? What gets you up every morning? And that's the question to you. What gets you up in the morning? Certainly, you have longevity in the business. You have a long career, but you still have that. When you talk to me about insurance, it's like you're a freaking kid in the playground. Fucking insurance this and insurance. What gets you?
What drives me? Yeah. What's my crusade right now?
Yeah.
Is to tell people about the new world of finance. They don't know it. They have no clue where to put their monies. They have no clue how to keep their money safe.
Yeah.
And in this new world of finance, you can actually have all the benefits of an S&P rising market and none of the downward drafts of a downward market. And this only happens in an insurance product. I never realized this. So when you asked me, I had to reinvent myself. I was in the financial services area. I was in a field called life settlements, and it was supposed to be an institutional market. These are life settlements are when you don't need your insurance. Okay, there's a secondary market for seniors, especially, to sell their life insurance policy to an organization, and the organization buys it and they put it into a pot with others, and this pot has the law of large numbers applies, meaning that some people will die on time, some people will die earlier, some people will die later, And it was supposed to be an institution market. It never happened. So in 2008, when the credit crunch came, there was no credit around, and my business was it was gone.
Okay, so
completely gone.
Take me back to that day. Did you wake up one day and you go, what I had, or the business that I knew I had, is no longer?
Yeah, Bear Stearns.
Just like that.
We were we had a deal with Bear Stearns right before they actually went bankrupt.
Yeah, right.
They were bought up by Morgan.
Yeah.
But the fact is that you know, it was there one day, and Bear Stearns was gone the next day.
Just like that, it was overnight.
And our deal was
right.
a multi-million-dollar deal, and gone.
So it's gone.
And no credit for our assets, basically.
Oh.
So where do you go?
So what's going through your mind?
So what's going through my mind is, how do I make a living? Simple. And
probably your wife's mind. How does it gonna make a living?
Well, that's it. Yeah. So we had to reinvent ourselves. Okay, and meaning that
But how do you do that? Take me through that process, because here you are, for all intended purposes, you know, what you had 24 hours prior does not exist anymore. And you are basically standing in a room alone going, what the hell am I going to do next? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so what starts that reinventing process, other than the necessity, naturally?
Well,
but what starts that? And I know you're a passionate man. So
yeah.
What starts that?
What starts that is, first of all, you've got to find an industry, okay, that you think you can be good at, okay?
All right.
And you've got to, so if you like people, this was a great industry, okay? But I had to find, so I got into the industry because I had an insurance background.
Right.
And I thought I'd be, in a different phase of the industry, meaning sales to the public.
Right.
And a couple of years down the road, I found what I thought was I know it's my passion, and it's called living benefits and the new retirement.
All right, that's cool. How does one find passion in an industry that is, for all intents and purposes, is not the sexiest industry in the world? I mean, and that's what I said. This is the shit that everybody needs, but nobody wants to talk about.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be giving a seminar here at the office.
I am. Yep.
About this very thing.
Absolutely.
But how do you find passion in that industry?
You're
a unique individual.
First of all, you've got to keep your mind open all the time.
Yeah.
Listen. My father once told me when I was a kid, the most important thing I'm going to tell you is learn to listen. Okay? Because when you learn to listen, opportunities come. Nice. There was always a reason. For example, you and I, Francisco, we met. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason was. But I know that I influenced your children's future. I know for a fact that they're going to be sound, that they have a bucket of money that they can rely on now if they ever got cancer, stroke, any of those things. They never had that before. Now they do. 7 out of 10 of us, okay, either have that. So we've got to face reality, man. You know, I mean, it's going to happen. And if you're not prepared for it, then everything goes wrong. Everything. You've got to plan and be prepared for life.
Here's what I like about what you're doing, is because you're, I don't want to say that you're in the business of selling insurance. I think that you're in the business of education and educating people. And
absolutely,
I think that
right.
When you do that, Tom, and again, look, I've heard one more insurance person trying to sell me insurance, fucking I kill myself. but what you did, which I believe is incredibly different than anybody else or from anybody else, is the fact that you started with education. You said, all right, this is what could happen. And then when you start educating people about what can happen, what cannot happen if you have this and if you don't have this, then I learned. Yeah. And then that's where your passion came about. That's what I saw your passion. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's a little bit different than everybody else.
It's educating people. That's what my passion is to show them there's something else out there that's better, okay? And 98% of the professionals in my business don't know about what I have, okay? Yeah. And I'm passionate to get that out. And basically, that's what drives me. That's what gets me up every morning, you know. And you're right. Education is very important. Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, wrote another book just recently called Second Chance. I urge everybody to go out and read it. But what struck me really home is that in the United States, we do not teach money. Is there any course that you took in grammar school that taught you what a liability is, what an asset is, to pay yourself before you pay anybody else?
It's funny you say that, Tom, because here at the Office Pub we have a nonprofit foundation that is going to be teaching entrepreneurship. It's called the Sale Master School, but then that's a free plug, all right? Free plug.
That's awesome. But
we're going to be teaching all that
But
stuff.
that's the key, Francisco.
It's
You
the
and
key.
I know
It's
that.
education,
Yeah.
Tom. And so somebody like you, I mean, you're very fit and stuff. So do you keep, to keep your mind just straight and active and vibrant all the time? Is there a regimen that you do? Do you eat any particular foods? Do you stay away from things? Are you a drinker? Are you not a drinker? Are you a smoker? Your insurance company's probably listening to you, so you're probably going to have to cut, right?
I don't smoke. I do occasional social drinking. I work out every day.
Nice.
I'm at the gym at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm back at the gym around 5:30 if I can make it, because there's a lot of people around me.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the gym, people are very, they're loose.
Yeah, yeah.
And you come around talking, and that's how I make I make acquaintances natural way by talking with people and being interested in what they're all about. And then eventually we'll end up talking, money or insurance or something like that. And I'll mention something, throw it out. Did you ever hear about indexed products? What's that, And so we get into that, and I'm educating.
What's the best advice, other than your father? He taught you.
Learn to listen.
Learn to listen. What's the best business advice that you received?
I would always, and I always do this, I read the latest books on how to improve myself.
Yeah.
If I don't know of a subject, I'll go and read that. All right, so education, once again, it all goes back to education. It's good for me, and it's good for the people that I talk to. So, there's a whole bunch more, but, I'm just hitting the highlights at this point, I think.
What's the secret?
The secret is
What's the secret?
persistence.
Never
Persistence. Never give up.
Never give up.
Never. Nope.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, and I agree with you. Sometimes when we face different obstacles and different rocks that we see about this big that are in front of us, and some people will just wilt and just give up.
Yeah.
But it is persistence.
It is. It's educating yourself, making yourself the expert in that field that you're in, and then doing the best that you can in that.
How do you see yourself as an individual growing with Freedom Equity Group, say, the next 5 years, Tom?
Well,
where do you want to be?
Well, it's very interesting you mentioned that, because Freedom Equity Group is it's basically a multi-level marketing plan.
Yeah.
Okay, but for example, I can bring other people in so that they can not only prosper by the plans that we have, but also to help other people. And that's the key. If you help somebody and you teach them how to help other people, Freedom Equity Group pays us 6 levels deep. Okay? It does. And
so you're the Mary Kay of insurance. Is that what you're telling me, dude? I mean, what's happening here?
It's not my process. I've never.
It sounds good.
I don't like multi-marketing level MLM, because you have to rely on another person. Okay, but in this sense, I'm not relying. I'm relying on myself. Really, I'm teaching somebody to do what I do. Okay, and if they do that the right way, just like I was taught, then you're giving somebody a job for the rest of their life.
A lot of people are going to want to know how to contact you. There is a little phone number right down here that they're going to call you. You can be reached here at the office, pal, man.
Awesome.
Are you going to come back sometime, man? I love this conversation.
Oh yeah, no, we'll do a lot.
To learn from you, my brother.
Thanks, Francisco.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Who?
This is for you, brother.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you.
Forgot.
All right.
Thanks.